20 years ago, I was the production manager at the Indiana Gazette, and one of our big clients was the Catholic Accent. Every Tuesday morning, we had a 9 o'clock meeting, and as we were walking into our meeting, we saw on the TV screens in the editorial room that something was happening. And we went on into the meeting, and within minutes, the editor broke in and came into the production meeting and said something terrible is happening. I remember what was coming up there was the first plane that went into the towers in New York. That was the first thing we saw. But our deadlines were 10 o'clock, 10:30. So at that point, everybody just kicked in, and we did what we had to do to delay the paper that day, but also be very concerned about what was going on with the world at that time. The day was so hectic and so busy, I didn't even share with my coworkers my concerns. Whenever I heard that something was hitting at the Pentagon, I knew that my cousin and his wife were stewards for American Airlines. And at that point, I started thinking that something could have happened. And I really didn't even have time to really think about it because I was trying to, do work. But I did call my mom and I said, maybe you better call Uncle Gene to see if Kenny's okay. And she did frantically try to call him all day, but here they were in the Outer Banks. So they weren't at home, and that was before cell phones. And the next morning I went to work, and my brother was the chief deputy sheriff in Indiana, and he came to the Gazette because he had gotten the news before I did about Kenny, and he came to tell me. And that's when I found out. Ken Lewis was my cousin, and he was 49, and his wife was Jennifer Lewis, and she was 41. They were wonderful people, both of them. They lived life to their fullest. None of their belongings was given to the families until several years later. And but my uncle always said that he just hoped that the two of them were holding each other. I was devastated. Like I said, Ken was from Virginia, but my mom was one of 13, and we were all very close family. Even growing up, we always had family reunions. We were just a close family. They had a memorial service for them in October, and we all went. American Airlines set up everything, and it was at a big church. And inside, they had movies of each of them. They had movies going of his life and of her life. And then they had mannequins with their uniforms on. That's all they had was mannequins. And there were several people there. The governor of Virginia was there. It was very, very touching. And then for the family members, they gave each of us a little teddy bear. And like with Angel, it was like an angel teddy bear for each member of the family. And they have a site for him, but there was no body. So I feel if you didn't have faith, I don't know how you could get through it. There were several times when all of us would get together and pray. I really worried about my aunt and uncle because they were elderly, and she had Parkinson's disease. And I think that the stress of all this really made it progress quicker for her. But I just feel that you have to have faith. You have to have faith because if you don't, I don't know how you get through things. I would like everybody just to say prayers for 20 years and know what you have gone through in the past 20 years so that something like this doesn't happen again.